Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Margot, Daniela, it is really great talking to both of you today. I really had a blast with this movie. I mean, it is wild, it is unpredictable, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Margot, the last time I traveled was to see you and your Birds of Prey in London. So whenever people talk about traveling, I always bring up that movie and just how great it was. So thank you for that too.
No, I know. It feels like a lifetime ago now that we're doing that.
It feels like a lifetime ago. No, this is your third time playing Harley. Was there a new side? What were you most looking forward to kind of returning to her wildness?
I love her so much and I love playing her. I was just really excited to play single and ready to mingle Harley. She's got kind of like little romances throughout. You know, they never really end well for Harley, but I was really excited about that, you know, because she's so, you know, previously she's so focused on Mr. J. I mean, she was literally invented in the comic books to be Mr. J's girlfriend. Like that's how she burst into existence, was as someone's girlfriend. So to now kind of completely cut ties to him in that way was kind of exciting. She was like, you know, an independent woman looking for love in all the wrong places.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Now, Daniela, what goes through your head when you're approached to do this type of role? Because it would be like, that's great. I'm going to be this super villain. Oh, wait, I have to be a rat controller. Like, how did you feel about that? And like, what went through your head when you were approached for this kind of character?
Actually, when I was reading the script, I was like, okay, I can control rats. So that was my first thought and my first information since ever. And then I was reading and my thoughts were, oh, okay, so I don't have to fight. Okay, so I don't have to shoot a gun. Okay, so I don't have to do all the bunch of stuff that the other guys will have to train to do. Okay, so my job now is easier because I was familiar with the rats. And yeah, it was like doing that, controlling rats, for me, it was peanuts.
Now they say don't work with animals or kids, but you actually like work with real rats. How fast did you have to kind of get over the hesitation of that? And how did that all kind of come together and work out?
Yeah, I love kids, but I prefer to work with animals, with rats, because whenever they were tired, they would just cuddle in my hands and I would feel that like right away. They wouldn't like make a scene or they wouldn't like scream or like the kids sometimes does. So yeah, it was really, really easy to work with them and just to learn like their timings and their like needs as co-stars.
Fascinating. Now, Margot, why do you think that audiences are so drawn to villain characters, and are they more fun to play than heroes? Because you certainly have played like anti-heroes and really complicated characters. You know.
I definitely know why. I mean, I know why actors like playing the anti-hero or the supervillain, because that kind of internal conflict, especially in this movie, you're seeing a lot of bad people having to do a good thing and seeing them kind of wrestle with doing the right thing, even if, you know, some of them are doing it for the wrong reasons, or some of them are doing it just simply because they have a bomb in their neck and that's going to, you know, get the head blown off if they don't do it. So it's just kind of more, I think it's more interesting when there's that like internal struggle, and then it's kind of satisfying when they do something for the right reason. They do something good at the end of the day. And, yeah, it's fun for us to play, and I think that's why it's fun for audiences to see.
Awesome. I got the rap signal. Wish I could keep talking about you today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hope to one day see a Harley Quinn versus Batgirl, because I'm like envisioning what that movie could be like, and that'd be great. So just, Margot, put that out there. Thank you. Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Joel, John, it is really great talking to both of you today. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I mean, it is wild and bonkers, and it's fantastic. So kudos to both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Joel, what did it mean to you to get the call from James Gunn saying that he wanted you to return to Rick Flag? And what sides of him were you excited to kind of play up in this one?
I mean, we were all, you know, thrilled when we heard that James had jumped on board. And, you know, Warner Brothers opened up their books and, you know, told him he could take any property, literally any DC property that he wanted. And he chose the Suicide Squad. And, you know, I talked to James after reading the first version of the script, and I was just stoked to you know, see his vision of Flag and the whole, you know, the film is very close to that first version of the script, and it's very unusual.
That's great to hear that it didn't go through tons and tons of rewrites. Now, John, the male ego with your character and Idris Elba is like on full display, and a lot of the fun is your banter back and forth. How much of that was in James's wicked script versus you two just riffing off each other?
Oh, what you see in the movie was on the page. I think we got to riff a lot and do some outtakes, and I'm very grateful for James for that. But James is smart, and I think he let us riff so he could get the vibe he wanted for his words. And that's why, like, what you see was on the page, but the attitude is correct. And you really bring up a good point of the relationship between Peacemaker and Bloodsport. They are two of the cast members who have identical abilities, and they're very different because every other cast member of the Suicide Squad has unique abilities. So right there, the movie, yes, it's bonkers, it's action, it's crazy, it's unexpected, but it does have a lot of heart, and it does dive into a lot of emotional ammunition if you want to go that route. And I think this is just one of the many sub stories in the movie.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Joel, why do you think audiences are drawn to villain characters like this? And are they more fun to play than the hero?
I think many times they are. And I think villains are very open with their flaws. And, sometimes, the worst written heroes are the ones that are perfect. And I don't think that anyone is really drawn to perfect, because we all have flaws. We all have our insecurities or our, weird stuff going on. And villains, they just, they flaunt it. They show that, they lead with their weaknesses in many ways. So that's, I think, one of the big draws to the Suicide Squad, that we're all so flawed characters.
I never thought of hero characters like that, because then my mind went to Bruce Wayne and Batman and the flaws of Bruce Wayne versus who Batman. Okay, we could go down a rabbit hole that we don't have time for. Now, John, you're no stranger to taking on franchises. I dog F9, by the way, and these large projects that come with huge fan expectations. How do you pay attention to that, or do you kind of just ignore the comments?
No, you have to pay attention to it. I'm as a live performer for 20 years, I go out in front of a live audience every night that tells you that you suck if you suck. And you can ignore that and continue to suck, or you can accept it, ask why, and try to be better. The best you can do is the best you can do. And I learned at a very early age with live promotion. You give your absolute all, you promote the best you can, and the rest is up to the audience. And then after that, it literally is just, if you're bold enough, you lean into the attitude and you lean into the opinion, and you can actually become better from it. You don't take it personal away for growth and improvement. Don't take it personal as a knock on your character or your well-being.
I got the rap signal. It was great talking to both of you today. John, Joel, this is fantastic. I hope people enjoyed the movie. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Jai, Nathan, Flula, it is really great talking to all three of you today. I really enjoyed the film. It was this wild, unpredictable bananas ride. So it was great. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. Now, Jai, what did it mean to you to get the call from James Gunn that he wanted you to return to the role of Captain Boomerang, and what were you most looking forward to with stepping back into that costume?
I was thrilled. I mean, I love Boomerang. He's kind of has this irreverence and this kind of shitbag quality to him that I really connect with, and I get to sort of play him unapologetically. So to be asked back or to reprise the role, or however we're sort of looking at it, it was a gift, man. I was stoked.
Good. Nathan, take me through reading this script for the first time. I know you've known James Gunn for a while, but what went through your head, and could you envision what this ride was going to look like?
I have to read very, very slowly because I have to paint the picture in my mind. I have to set the stage of where everybody's standing and sitting. I have to do it takes me forever to read it. And I remember getting to, I think, page 15 and saying, "You son of a bitch." I remember that because I said, this is going to be great.
Right.
Jai and Flula, if anybody else is doing this, is anybody else looking behind Paul to see if you're in any of those movies?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is real. It's a very real collection up here. So it's not just a fake backdrop. Yeah.
How many of them am I in?
Well, I do have the first Suicide Squad up in my DC collection up there.
That's one.
So that's one. Flula, I have Pitch Perfect 1 and 2 up there.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we were Castle fans in this house, Nathan. So there you go.
There you go. Boom.
All three. Now, Flula, why do you think that audiences are so drawn to villains? And is it more fun to do a villain character than playing the hero?
Of course, Paul. I hate a man that says thank you after you serve him a meal. I want a man that says suck it, slaps that food directly into that other person's face and drops an F-bomb for no reason. Everyone wants to be rude, especially people that are not rude. As Nathan, the most polite man in the universe, I just love it when he's rude. I just want to see Nathan just be rude to everybody. Tips, no tips. Tips,
Shut
like,
up, please.
yeah, more of that.
Oh my God, Flula. I was watching your interview on Kelly Clarkson before this, and you were very funny on there. Now, Jai, this comes with massive fan expectations. Do you pay attention to that, or do you kind of just ignore the comments?
I kind of ignore the comments. I mean, look, it's great to have such, immense support out there, and I want nothing more with everything than for the fans to enjoy it. But it's an impossible task to kind of track and really give too much energy to. And yeah, man, look, I don't know. Look, if you have the opportunity to work on something great and people love it and the response is kind of unanimous, then there's nothing better. There's no better feeling. We only want to kind of deliver that up, but it's also can become a kind of toxic part of what we do to try and serve that kind of too heavily through the process. So yeah, man, I don't know. They'll be fine. If you don't like it, go see someone else.
That's so true. Now, Nathan, James Gunn, you've worked with him. He's got this vision and this distinct style. What is that collaboration like on set then? Is it all one kind of big happy family?
You go to work, you want to be able to just be comfortable enough to expose yourself, to be vulnerable, to try things that might fail and might work. And you don't know, but you want to be comfortable and be able to trust the people you're around. And James has a habit of collecting incredibly talented people who do their jobs very, very well. That takes a lot of the stress off. If everybody's working really hard at their jobs and they're doing a great job, you really don't have to work that hard. All the work is kind of done for you. And that's what it's like working with James. It's working with incredibly talented people who know how to do their jobs and know how to behave on a set. Makes it easy.
Yeah. Except, I would say one thing, Nathan, he did encourage me to expose myself, and I'm glad you were there too.
To try to right that misunderstanding. That was awkward, but I'm glad.
So thank you again.
Really good note and visual image. I got the wrap, so thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Elise Mailing, it is really great talking to both of you today. I really enjoyed the film. It's such a wild, unpredictable ride. So thank you.
Yes, very unpredictable.
Now, Elise, take me through getting that call about this film and reading the script for the first time. What went through your head?
I mean, I was already a huge fan of James Gunn before anything started. When I heard his name, I was like, what? I mean, whatever, like just send me, I'm dying to read it. And as soon as I read it, I was just blown away by it, because based on what James does with his scripts and his stories and with his actors, I could see just by the pages that this would be insane. And in the good insane that I want to see in the movies, that you're like laughing and you're crying with them and you're just like literally buckling up, because it's like a roller coaster. So it was pretty exciting.
It very much is. Now, Mei-Ling, you have this fantastic, like full body makeup costume design that took hours, clearly. And I feel like that would just be an actor's dream to have that be a part of the character. What was the best part for you of having your character go through that whole thing?
I kind of brought the fierceness of Mongal to life. Like after, you stand there for 4 hours and they do all the thing. But as soon as you put the helmet on and you just looked and the contacts went in, it was like the whole day I was just like,
It's like the best kind of dress up.
It was. Sometimes I'll go to the bathroom and I'll come out and like I'll just walk out the bathroom stall and so I'll scare the hell out of someone who was standing like there waiting, and everyone was freaked out. Everyone was just looking at me, and
how many hours did you get for makeup?
So it was 4 hours. And then we got it down to under 3, so like 2.5 one day maybe. But then with the heat with Atlanta, they had to seal me in. So they put a sealant on me and then they couldn't get it off one day. Yeah, we had a really sticky day and then we couldn't. And I could see them all going, I mean, they were, and then I was just like, oh, please. And then they stick me in a sauna, so I'll sweat it out. And yeah, it took like over 2 hours to get it off, and I had to come back that day. So they were panicking. They were a great team, but it was
the glamour of superhero.
I love hearing stories like that because I know how important costumes are to any actor, and whether it's like that or even thinking about Michelle Pfeiffer getting like vacuum sealed into her Catwoman suit, like I just think it's all fascinating. Now, Alice, why do you think that audiences are so drawn to villain characters? And do you think it's better to play? I know you kind of more play the hero in this, but do you think it's more fun to play the villain versus the hero? I think you can tackle that one too.
I mean, it's funny, right? Because the cool thing about the villain, and in our case, in our film, is that the villains are kind of the anti-hero turned hero. That it's really cool to I think they are entitled more to the flaws of their characters. I think they can be more fun. They're not like the perfect, like Superman, or like just the nice guy and the perfect guy. I think people relate to them because they're not the perfect of it. And none of us are perfect in real life. So I think people really enjoy that. And for an actor, you can just go crazy with it. Right. Like you see all the characters, like when they start the film, like you see everybody just like, oh my God, this is really insane, but so much fun, right?
Now, this movie comes with massive fan expectations. I mean, I tweeted when I saw it, and like my Twitter was blowing up. How do you guys deal with fan reactions? Do you listen to the comments? Do you ignore them?
I don't know. What do you think? Maybe.
I mean, you have a lot of fans who love you, so you don't get much hate. I don't look, really, to be honest. No, I don't.
I never. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes the cool thing about fans is that they're dedicated, and I think DC fans are super dedicated. I always say that comics fans are the best in the world because they're so passionate and so committed, but they're very really strong opinion. So it's really cool to make and to work with them because of that, to make work for them because they really have an answer, good or bad. So I don't read much, but at the same time, it's nice to go in to feel the temperature. Being good or bad, it's because you're so devoted. And right. That's what is exciting. I think they're the best fans in the world because of that, because they're really, really devoted.
I love hearing that. I got the rap signal. It was great talking to both of you today. Congrats on this film, and I hope people enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Juan Diego, Joaquin, it is really great talking to both of you today. I really enjoyed the film. It is a unpredictable ride for sure. So thank you for that.
Stupendo. Great, Paul.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Now, Joaquin, take me through getting the call about this film, reading the script for the first time. I mean, what went through your head?
The big and the fantastic views, it was a great script, Lo que te decía Juan Diego, the quotations, or ¿cómo se dice? The description of the
descriptions, the footnotes.
That's amazing. You can read the script like a book, like an adventure book. It was great for me.
I was in shock. I was when you think there's nothing that would be able to top that. The previous scene, the next scene tops it, and then the following, it's like crazier and crazier and funnier, and also because it defies defies is the verb, the rules of a superhero movie. It goes beyond the expected, which is what you're looking for as an audience, and also as an actor, but definitely as an audience, to see something unpredictable, something that because we've seen enough superhero movies as to know the rules and to see what to expect in the first, second, and third act. In this case, I think, or my feeling is, it was my feeling reading it and actually doing it, that this is something different. This is something else.
Now, Juan Diego, why do you think that audiences are so drawn to villain characters? And do you think that they're more fun to play as an actor than just the hero?
As an actor, definitely, they're more fun to play. They tend to have more corners and details and it's more gray areas, and that, as an actor, that makes them more fun to play. But then I guess as a society we're in that way. We like to see villains on screen. In this case, in this movie, you have them all. I mean, Joaquin definitely is baddest of all, but you have a big selection of villains. Joaquin Cosilla being the cruelest and meanest of all.
Right. Now, Joaquin, James Gunn has this vision and this style that we've been talking about. What is that collaboration like on set between a director that exactly knows what he wants versus you guys as actors to bring your own thing to the table?
Well, the best thing is he lets you do everything. You're feeling really, really free in the set, playing what you want, what you need to do. And he is always watching, but he is let you doing whatever you want. That's a great way to play a good role. I think so.
Well, that's awesome. I got the rap signal. It was great talking about you today. So thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.